Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my ASMR video. ASMR. Tonight, I'm going to be doing a little bit of reading. It's raining outside. You might be able to hear the rain a little bit on the window, but maybe not. I'm sorry if you don't like the sound. But I was going through my books because I just moved and I'm taking them all out of the boxes, and this was one of the first that was on the top. I was trying to find a book that I might enjoy skimming through for this video, and this one was pretty simple with little stories that didn't take much brain power to read through, opposed to a actual story novel. This is part of the Warrior Cats series. Ultimate Guide by Aaron Hunter. I got this book years ago. I don't remember when it came out, but I haven't touched it since I already read it. But it's such a pretty book. I also have some tea, so there'll be a few drinking sounds. I'm sorry if you don't like that. Do a little bit of cup tapping. I'm so sorry if I sniffle or cough. Maybe I'll edit those out. I'm not sure. But I just wanted to try something tonight since I was in the mood for reading and drinking tea. Alright, let's start. So, I'm not sure where I'll start. It has quite a few stories in it. I guess it depends on how long the video can go or how long till my voice gives out. Let's see. If I can find my favorite stories, I might read those. So, while I flip these pages, let me explain what the series is if you're unfamiliar with Warrior Cats. Warrior Cats is about cats, obviously, that live in the wild and have formed these sort of clans, groups, and they fight. It's a little more complicated than that, but to completely explain warriors, it would take way too long. That's a whole other video. But there's 4 different clans in the beginning. We have, I guess I'll show you. Let's start from the very beginning. Let's see. There were 4 clans that lived in the forest. Each clan defended a territory that best suited its hunting skills. Fleet-footed rabbit chasers lived on the moor below broad open skies, Glossy furred cats who were happy to get their paws wet in search of fish settled beside the river. Stalkers of mice and squirrels made their home along dense trees and tangled undergrowth, and bold, cunning cats who had a taste for frogs patrolled the marshes fringed by brittle pine trees. Make sure my tea doesn't fall over. But no, there were originally 5 clans. One clan was forced out when Two Lakes took over its territory. That clan, the Tree Hunters, created a new home far, far away in a sandy gorge. And before those 5 clans, there was a community of cats living deep in the mountains, beneath an endless tumbling waterfall. These cats had left their home beside a lake after a hard-won decision to find somewhere else to live, free from black and white dogs that were too easily diverted from chasing sheep into chasing cats instead. Those 4 clans that lived in the forest, they ended up beside the very same lake when Two Legs rampaged through their territories, flattening trees to make space for a new thunderpath. With their distant ancestors lost from memory, the clans believed they were the first cats to settle there, forging new paths among the trees and across the windy hills. Everywhere the cats had been, there were layers upon layers of history, some known, some long forgotten, and some discovered in the most unexpected ways, laid down by the paw steps of many generations. What shaped the lives of these proud and noble warriors? Come, walk among them for a while and listen to their stories. So this was the introduction to the guide, and this is more like the ultimate guide, which just tells of different stories from different characters and their perspectives. I'll breeze through a few, but obviously this book is pretty large. I obviously won't go into it. We're already 7 minutes in. So we have probably the main clan in the story, Thunderclan. Introduction to Thunderclan. Blue Star speaks. Before I speak, let me get a cup of my tea. Hope I don't spill it. I don't ever read out loud, so my voice is already dying on me. Let's see, I wonder how long this is. That's Blue Star. I like Blue Star. This is, let's see. Like all of the clans, Thunderclan has been shaped by the nature of its home, by the dense forest and prey-rich thickets that lie between its boundaries. My warriors are the most skilled predators of any clan, able to make themselves silent and invisible in order to hunt the tiny furred and feathered creatures that live among us. They can stalk over fallen trees and brittle twigs without making a sound, and from a standstill, they can pounce with enough strength to bring down a full-grown rabbit. Sorry if you heard that. That was my stomach. We are descended from the cats who were most adept at hunting beneath the trees, who were undaunted by the branches blocking out the sky and the need to fight enemies at close quarters when there was no open space in which to escape an attacker. This battling in close quarters gave us enough courage and confidence in our abilities to feed and defend ourselves. And we know the forest was the right home for us. It was the warrior code that let us grow as a clan and maintain our beloved forest territory. No clan guards the code as passionately as Thunderclan. To our dying breath, we know it will protect us from injustice, cruelty, and needless battles. The code tells us to check our boundaries daily and prohibit trespassing or hunting on another clan's territory. And we follow this. The other clans might call us cowards for avoiding constant border skirmishes, but we would fight for our territory as fiercely as any of them, just not when a more peaceful answer can be found by obeying the code that we share. Sorry if this is not focusing very well. Balancing my phone on a book. It's not great. But you do what you gotta do. We lived in the forest beside Twilight Place. Our greatest border quarrel was with River Clan over Sunning Rocks. When cats first came to the forest, these rocks were an island in the middle of the river, accessible only to those peculiar cats who were willing to swim to it. But the river changed its course, and the rocks were soon attached to dry land to Thunderclan territory. The only logical conclusion was that they should be absorbed into our borders. ThunderClan, River Clan, those fish-eating mouse brains, insisted this was unfair and tried bitterly to reclaim Sunning Rocks. We won more of those battles than we lost, which speaks for itself. When my warriors know they are in the right, they will fight like lions. But we know what it takes. We know what it is like to be without the boundaries of a clan, living so close to Twilight Place in the forest. We met more kitty pets than other clans, and had more rogues passing through. I tried to teach my clan to treat these strangers as cats, just like us, before judging them for where they had been born. Compared to some of the dark-hearted warriors clawing at our borders, there are better cats who have no belief in StarClan at all. Cats can learn to follow the warrior code, but they cannot always learn to have the compassion or courage that comes from faith. I'm so sorry if I skip over words or mess up sentences. It's late and I'm not great at reading as much as I like to do it. Blue star, blue star, blue star, blue star. Let's see. Let's go. Should I read more Thunderclan and do the next clan for another video? That might be nice. Let me see how far it goes. Let me go through all the names at least over here. We have Blue Star. She's the clan leader of Thunderclan in the first book of the series. We have Cinderbelt, 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 Cinderbelt. Leaf pool, leaf pool, leaf pool. Squirrel flight, squirrel flight, squirrel flight, squirrel flight, squirrel flight, squirrel flight. Bramble claw, bramble claw, bramble claw, bramble claw. Ashfur, 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 ashfur. Lion Blaze, such a cute picture. Gosh. Looks like my cat. Lion Blaze, Lion Blaze. Holly leaf, holly leaf, holly leaf, holly leaf, holly leaf, holly leaf. Jay feather, Jay feather. Jay feather, Jay feather, Jay feather. Cinderheart, 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 Cinderheart. These pages are so smooth. Duffwing, 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 Duffwing. Ivy pool, Ivy pool, Ivy pool, Ivy pool, Ivy pool. Briarlight, I love her. Briarlight, 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 Briarlight. There we go. I think that's the end of Thunderclan. Let's see. We got another story. Goes on for a while. And then we get to ShadowClan, 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 ShadowClan. I quite like ShadowClan, even though they're always kind of in a antagonist situation. Well, I should probably stop here. I haven't read that much, but I should do more of these stories. I don't know if I should go through the whole book or just certain pieces. Do people usually read full books on here? I don't know. Hope you didn't hear that. It was a car door. It's like midnight. I don't know where people are going. It's storming outside. These are so pretty. Should I read one more? Read Pinestar. I'm not a big fan of Pinestar, but I didn't mind his book though. He had a book, right? I think so. Let's see. If I can get it to focus, I'll read it. Pinestar was the leader of Thunderclan when Blue Kit, later Blue Star, was born. He was fiercely protective of Thunderclan's borders and prey, but preferred a show of strength via patrols and words rather than actual conflict to resolve any issues. Pinestar was a calm, fair-minded leader, resigned to doing battle with RiverClan over Sunning Rocks, and and confident in the abilities of his deputy, Sunfall, to organize the clan's daily routine. When his menacing cat, Goosefeather, found a sign that warned Winkland was on the verge of destroying Thunderclan, Pinestar reluctantly agreed to take action. Several of his senior warriors were eager to invade Winkland and teach them exactly what would come from stealing prey from Thunderclan. But Pinestar knew how much this would cost his clanmates in injuries and even death. Pinestar led the attack on Winkland himself, and the battle turned out to be as bloody as he had feared, with the death of Bluepaw's mother, Moonflower, at the claws of Winkland's warrior-turned menacing cat, Hawkheart. The battle was lost, and Pinestar grew increasingly disillusioned with the violence and contrasting fragility of clan life. He started roaming beyond the borders of Thunderclan, crossing into Two-Leg Place, and observing the easy lives of the kitty pets who didn't have to risk their lives for the sake of food and shelter. Pinestar was befriended by a kitty pet named Jake, who was intrigued by the cats in the woods and had once traveled for a while with Talltail, a warrior from Winkland. Pinestar started to take food from a Two-Leg, and gradually life outside the clan became more and more appealing. His travels couldn't stay secret for long, though, and he was spotted on one of his Two-Leg visits by a young apprentice named Lionpaw. Embarrassed, Pinestar lied that he was engaged in a long battle with a kitty pet and was just pretending to be one himself in order to pass unchallenged through Two-Leg Place. But yet another invasion of Sunning Rocks by RiverClan made Pinestar realize that he could not spend his last life fighting for every paw-step of territory and every mouthful of food. His greatest regret was leaving behind his kits with Leopardfoot, especially the little Tom Tiger Kit, who was already fierce and bold and eager to fight. Pinestar handed over leadership of his clan to Sunfall, then left to live with his adopted Two-Leg. Pinestar believed he had served his clan loyally and well for 8 long lives, and he deserved some peace at the end. Alright, I think I'm going to end it there. I hope this turned out okay and the audio turned out right. I should have gotten a bookmark. So, I guess we might go through all of Thunderclan next time, since I don't have to explain what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, since you're already aware. And then we'll move on to ShadowClan, provided these stories aren't too long. I don't want to read too much of one thing. Okay. Alright. Thank you for listening and watching my video. I'm so sorry. It was totally under quality. I'm just starting this thing out. But I had fun actually just reading. It's been a long time since I've read this.